Mic check.
Right, is it turning green?
Nah.
Go to the next one. I'll go to the next one. I'm sorry. Next
hold on. There you go. Mic check.
Okay.
Check.
You do it then.
What about now, too? Can you hear us, Hebrew? Mic check. Appreciate that, Hebrew. Shabbat shalom.
Yeah, appreciate that, nephew.
Let us know if you can hear us, Hebrew. If anybody can hear us, let us know.
All good.
We all good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, now let's start. Matter of fact, let's pick a different song.
Yeah. Hey, so stay stat watching, pocket checking. Yeah, real Judah. When real Judah gonna drop, they say we doing numbers. 144 up on that clock, they say we doing numbers. Hey, when your album drop, it shy, we doing numbers. Hey, we ain't never flopping, man, we doing numbers. They say we doing numbers. I might pull a real numbers. Hey, when your album drop, it shy, we doing numbers. 144 up on that clock, they say we doing numbers. All praise to my maker. What you hit me for? You need your song high. Get away from me, Satan. 130, that's for purchase. And I ain't tripping on these verses. You think I care about your damn song? Well, we living out these curses. Well, I do this work for the 12 tribes, and that tribe of Judah still ahead of them. They say shy when they got beef. Well, I run to them, never ran from them. Used to move to work with the scale on me. Got shook when I seen the whole bell, homie. Now I get the truth with the fringes on me. I'm clocking numbers with the Mitri on me. Kwame Yasha, out of my Judas, I pop my trunk. Everybody gon' wave. Shy, when your album gon' drop, I don't know, might be today. If they coming at me and the chip the deal, Sydney 48 might shoot to kill. Why everybody clocking us? What the hate is real? Run my numbers up just for the thrill. Yeah, I'm riding with Crash, yeah, I'm C-walking. He always been playing, see my signal caller. It's gonna turn black like the sky falling. Trying to be an all white, yeah, skywalking. When you see Shy, that's real Judah. Hebrew hood music, my movement. Doing this work daily, my choosing. If it goes hard, they will choose it. When we're Judah gonna drop, they say we doing numbers. 144 up on that clock, they say we doing numbers. Hey, when your album drop, it Shy, we doing numbers. Hey, we ain't never flopping, man, we doing numbers. They say we doing numbers. I might pull a real numbers. Hey, when your album drop, it Shy, we doing numbers. 144 up on that clock, they say we doing numbers.
Back in 88, I was just 9 pounds, 14 ounces. And by the age of 8, I probably moved 9 pounds, 14 ounces. And could have hit a meal when I was 18, but I was living reckless. And by 28, I hit 20 West and I came to Texas. Been in Bowen Homes with L.O. Boulder Crest with O.J. The Northern Tribes call me San Luis. Issachar call me Jefe. Chopping trees to make the paper. We take the paper, stack the lumber. Don't talk to me about doing numbers. I've been out here for 10 summers. It's misery. Better ask about me before you open the trap, Judah. Been homeless, I've been down bad. Praise the Most High, cause I'm back, Judah. Real life, no acts, Judah. Open your book of Acts, Judah. I don't brag, no, I don't boast, but I will keep actual facts, Judah. My honesty is genuine, even though some do pretend. Real Judah, we was born to win. Watch for the wolves, no Benjamins. Crappy job, call me the plumber. Staying woke, no time for slumber. Jacob watching for the signs and wonders, but my father said that my hairs is numbered. It's Louis.
When we're Judah gonna drop, they say we doing numbers. 144 up on that clock, they say we doing numbers. Hey, when your album drop, it Shy, we doing numbers. Hey, we ain't never flopping, man, we doing numbers.
That's
They say we doing
that's
numbers.
Shy and the dude named Louis
I might
Music.
pull a real numbers. Hey, when your album drop, it Shy, we doing numbers. 144 up on that clock, they say we doing numbers. Come take a ride with me. I'm trying to show my family that this walk is worth it. I'm trying to show my people that this truth is worth it. If you're doing it for Christ, then you know it's working. They might not see it now, but trust me, we all have a purpose. praise to a higher. Bahashem Yeshaya. Wawarak, my guidance. Yeah. Will I make it in? Well, I don't know. I'ma keep traveling on this narrow road. All green lights, so I guess time for me to roll. Go when my foes tipping. Do or die like I'm whole pivot. I show them truth, but the eyes wide shut. Call them folks in the cold givers. I skate past like I'm Bar Simpson. I got the juice for it all Simpson. I never thought that I'll be the one to give the truth. That's the way I was living. I had to open up the word and apply that scripture to myself. That's why you hear me on the song. I hold that mirror to myself. You get hate or relate, I don't care. I'm doing that work when the truth out there. It is what it is. We'll take a gas, a long way to go. So I'm just gonna keep on riding around and giving the truth to the people or whoever gonna listen. Yeah, I'll make it in. Well, I don't know. I'ma keep traveling on this narrow road, all green lights, so I guess time for me to roll. All praise to a higher. Bahashem Yeshaya. Warawak, my guidance. Yeah. Will I make it in? Well, I don't know. I'ma keep traveling on this narrow road, all green lights, so I guess time for me to roll. Mashiach, I'm rooting like Steph Curry. I'ma keep shooting. When you come down, I'ma say long time coming, bro. Say I'm cooking, ground sugar, earthquake, make them shake so much, break a vertebrae. I'ma stay locked into the truth, cause I do not want to be another casualty. Yeah, they mad at me, really? I don't really give a damn if the boys mad at me. I'ma stay locked into the truth, waking up the lost sheep, doing that daily. Yeah, they hating on me, they hating Christ, hating me. What I expected was going to be. I guess that's what happened when you're doing this work for a higher faithfully. I opened up that word and applied them scriptures to myself. That's why when you hear shot on the song, he hold that mirror to himself. You can relate or hate, I don't care. I'm doing that work when the truth out there. It is what it is. We'll take a gas, a long way to go. So I'm just gonna keep on riding around and giving the truth to the people or whoever gonna listen. Yeah. Will I make it in? Well, I don't know. I'ma keep traveling on this narrow road, all green lights, so it gets time for me to roll. All praise to a higher. Bahashem Yeshaya. Wawarak, my guidance. Yeah. Will I make it in? Well, I don't know. I'ma keep traveling on this narrow road, all green lights, so it gets time for me to roll. Real truth. Road tribe.
All praise, honor, and great glory is unto our Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, Elohim of Yishkak, Elohim of Yaakov. To our brothers and sisters in the faith, as always, we salute you. We give praise, honor, and glory to our uncrowned King, Yeshua HaMashiach. In these great and evil days, we await on his arrival to return, to get it all straight, to make a clean atonement for that which has been done and that which is supposed to be done. We coming to you once again on another Shabbat day. I got the young lion with me.
Shalom.
We in the building. I turn it over to my son.
Shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. It's good to be before you guys on another Shabbat night. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody prep was as least hectic as possible. I know how it be on Friday trying to cram everything in before that sun go down. You know what I'm saying? Let's just make sure we stay in that mode. We don't ever want to get in the mode of,
Yeah.
you know, it's the
Nah,
Sabbath, man. I just go when I get there. Nah, you know it. Hey, let's not get complacent. You know what I'm saying? But y'all see what the title is, part 2. Part 2, the Order of Aaron, a means to an end, the Order of Melchizedek, the beginning and the end. What's up?
Just stay at home, bro. He said you need to tag him in. He ready to come in and read. Get you some rest, bro. We gonna hold it down tonight.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Appreciate you, Hebrew.
Man, look here. Hey, we finna get into it. We dealt with Melchizedek in the beginning last time.
That's right.
Part 1, right? We looked at a number of things in that. Like we didn't hit Psalms 110. We didn't hit none of the New Testament scriptures.
Right.
It was all Old Testament before Adam. I mean, before Enoch, during Enoch, and after Enoch. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And we looked at first the priesthood in the heavens.
Yep.
We kept reading it's the temple. Is this up there? The altar, the golden censers, the tabernacle of the testimony, the angels officiating in the temple with the garments on, breast covered with golden girdles, the ark of the testament, right?
That's right.
We saw all that in the heavens first. Then we went in Jubilees and showed how the law was a part of this priesthood. Show how the feast days was a part of it, how the commandments was a part of it. Right, and then we went and showed. We showed priests in this priesthood, starting with Adam.
That's right. Covered a lot of ground.
Yes, sir. And then before we even went there, we showed you how the Melchizedek order is the father's priesthood in Testament of Judah, chapter 21. Right. So at the gate, we establishing that Melchizedek is the more superior priesthood. Right, it was there in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And then we looked at Enoch, and then we got into something real interesting about Ner having the son being born the same way that the Messiah was going to be born, and they named it Melchizedek. And then it told you there's another Melchizedek coming that's going to be the priest of priests. So the whole child that Ner and his wife had was a shadow of Christ, was a type of Christ.
That's right.
All right. And then we showed you, we went to Genesis 14, showed you Shem as a priest. We showed you Noah as a priest. We showed you Adam as a priest. Right. And then Moses, to close it out, part 1, we went to Exodus 19 and showed you Moses mentioned the priesthood where every person of the nation of Israel was supposed to be a priest. And what priesthood would that be? Melchizedek.
That's right, brother.
All this is before you get to Psalms 110. All right, so tonight we're going to deal with a means to an end, the order of Aaron. All right, and just to throw out the objectives again that we're going to cover over the course of this, over the course of these classes is the order of both priesthoods, which one came first, which we answered that already, the aspects, what aspects of the laws were active and inactive during both priesthoods. Melchizedek before it came into its fullness, which we dealt with last class. The start and the regression of the Levitical priesthood, which we will be getting into tonight. And spiritual aspects of the Torah, we might be able to get into a little bit of tonight, but that's more so part 3. Okay. Part 3 is what's going to tie everything that we've been talking about in. But tonight we dealing with a means to an end. So something that we had to deal with to get us back to where we was in the beginning.
Okay.
All right. So let's start this out in Jasher 9.
All right.
Let's start it out in Jasher chapter 9. Let's do 1 through 6.
All right.
Jasher chapter 9, 1 through 6. We going to tie up a few more loose ends on this Melchizedek before it came into his fullness, before we hop in Aaron.
I'll make sure we read the same one. We hear right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
See, that's what I was saying.
Read that 1 through 6.
All right. All right, we in Jasher chapter 9, verse 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, this same one.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Haran, the son of Terah, Abram's oldest brother, took a wife in those days.
Mm-hmm.
And Haran was 39 years old when he took her. And the wife of Haran conceived and bare a son and called his name Lot. She conceived again and bare a daughter, and she called her name Milcah.
Mm-hmm.
And she again conceived and bare a daughter, and she called her name Sarai.
Right.
Haran was 42 years old when he begot Sarai, which was in the 10th year of the life of Abram. And in those days, Abram and his mother and nurse went out from the cave, as the king and his subjects had forgotten the affair of Abram. And when Abram came out from the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem, and he remained with them to learn the instruction of Yahweh. and his ways, and no man knew where Abram was. And Abram served Noah and Shem, his son, for a long time. And Abram was in Noah's house 39 years.
How many years?
39 years.
All right, so we see Abraham was in the house of Melchizedek priest for 39 years, learning the ways of the Most High. So if he learned the ways of the Most High, you know he learned the priesthood, of course. You know he learned the priesthood, right? And guess who was teaching them? Who we read about in Genesis 14, who we read about in Jasher 16. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hold on. You finished verse 6.
I think I stopped at verse 6. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that
was it. Okay.
Yeah, that was all I wanted right
okay.
there. So we see Abraham was in their house being taught. All right.
That's right.
All right. So let's go to the next part. Genesis 26. Genesis 26. We picking up where we left off. Genesis 26, 1 through 5.
All right. And there was a famine in the land. Beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham.
Right.
And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh appeared unto him and said, Go not down to Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham your father.
Right.
And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven.
Okay. And remember that promise. We're gonna read a few more here pretty soon. But remember that promise, y'all.
Okay.
This is Genesis 26. This is still under the Melchizedek order. That promise came under the Melchizedek order. Remember that. That's going to be important when we get to part 3. Go ahead.
And I will give unto thy seed all these nations.
Thy seed. One. Not seeds. He said, I will give to thy seed. What?
All these countries, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And I will, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed.
Thank you. Keep going.
Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my law.
Okay.
And Isaac dwelt in Gerar.
All right. That was it. That was verse 6. That was verse 6. All right. That's all I want on that. Okay. I'm finna read 2 Baruch 57 verses 1 and 2, which we read a few of these verses in the first class, but we're gonna read it again. It says, and after these you saw the bright waters, that is the fountain of Abraham and his generation, and the coming of his son, and of the son of his son, and of those who are like him. For at that time the unwritten law was in force among them, and the works of the commandments were accomplished at that time. And the belief in the coming judgment was brought about, and the hope of the world which would be renewed was built at that time, and the promise of life that will come later was planted. So we see the commandments, the moral law is active. We're just reiterating that point, right? Now let's go to Genesis 15.
All right.
Let's go to Genesis 15. Before we get in the urn, we just tying up a few loose ends that we didn't touch on in that first one about Melchizedek. Because this stuff a lot of people miss, and then you get to the New Testament and be kind of confused.
Yeah.
We gotta read this. Slow down what we read. Slow down to see what we read. Genesis 15, 1 through 6.
After these things, the word of Yahweh came unto Abram in a vision, saying,
right.
Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, O Yahweh Elohim, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless? And the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus. And Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now toward the heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be.
Yeah.
And he believed in Yahweh.
He did what?
And he believed in Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
And he counted it to him for righteousness.
Oh, so Abraham believed and it was counted to him for righteousness. Here's another aspect of Melchizedek that we must deal with.
Come on,
the
now.
faith part.
That's right.
Right? He was counted righteous after he believed.
That's right. After.
And then guess what? He ain't even got the circumcision yet.
That's
so
right.
This lets you know, even before he got the physical circumcision, that he was counted righteous. So the other aspect of circumcision was there in Melchizedek in the beginning as well. So you got spiritual circumcision. Well, how do I know? Because he was counted righteous before he had the physical circumcision.
While keeping the law.
While keeping the law. Spiritual circumcision, Genesis 15. Then you jump 2 chapters over and he boom, now you get the physical mark. Showing you the process, the true process of it all. It got to be up here first. Because you can get the physical and still be wicked. Still have a wicked mind. So what good is your circumcision?
No good.
Abraham was not physically circumcised, but the Most High counted him righteous.
That's right, bro.
All under the order of Melchizedek. Let's go to Genesis 12. Let's go to Genesis 12. Genesis 12, verse 7. Let's read verse 7.
All right.
Hold on. No. Let's go to Genesis 13. My bad. Right. Genesis 13. Yep. 13, read 14 and 15.
All right. And Yahweh said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward, and southward, and eastward, and westward. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever.
That's another promise, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to Genesis 17. Let's look at another promise. All these promises is coming under the order of Melchizedek before animal sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Why is that? And then you got over the course of time, because the priest fell off, people had lost sight of that. People had lost sight of that and figured that the law took precedence over these promises. It don't work like that. All right, let's go to Genesis 17. Let's read 1 through 19.
And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahweh appeared unto Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Yah. Walk before me and be thou perfect.
Yeah.
And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Yah talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee.
Right.
And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a Yah, an Elohim unto thee, and to thy seed after thee.
Yeah.
And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession, and I will be their Elohim. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant therefore, and thy seed after thee in their generation.
Right.
This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised.
Go ahead.
And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant between me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house or bought with money, or any stranger which is not of thy seed.
Mhm.
He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised.
Ooh, what?
Must needs be circumcised.
We'll read that and totally miss what was written in Genesis 15.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We'll just disregard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where you got to have the balance in the scripture. The scripture is not a book where you can belong to a certain extreme because it's a balanced book.
That's right, brother.
Right? You can't be on one extreme or the other. You got to be balanced. So you read must needs be circumcised. You must have the covenant in your flesh, but don't just focus on that. Focus on how in the world his brothers being counted righteous before they even had this covenant in their flesh.
That's right.
This is how Melchizedek, your mindset supposed to be operating. Spirit before flesh.
Come on, man.
Spirit before flesh, because it's a spiritual priesthood. All right? Go ahead.
And my covenant shall be in your flesh.
Yeah.
For an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man child whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, thou shalt be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be.
Right.
And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. And Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 99 years old bear?
It shall. Go ahead.
And Abraham said unto Yahweh, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. And Yahweh said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant.
And with who else?
And with his seed after him.
Who else came out of Isaac besides the Israelites? Who's the main Israelite that came out of his Bible?
That's right, brother.
That he established the everlasting covenant.
That's right, brother. You know, I gotta say something, bro. You touched on something that was so perfect.
Go ahead.
I think a lot of the issue with a lot of what we see going on in Israel today is because a lot of teachers teach this, the physical letter of the law, before they even start teaching it. And that's where we get a lot of the issue that we see even amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Is that when most people come into the truth, they bang it on the letter, they bang it on the ordinance, they bang, and they never, ever get to the spiritual part of the righteousness of living, even outside of the ordinances. And I think that's a big problem. I'm glad you brought that up, man.
Man, all praises. And that's why we attacking this subject matter the way we doing it, showing you, because people, they start their journey right in Exodus 20, which is good. No problem with that. But when you get down to the initial shock of it all, of being in this thing, now you got to get a little bit more nuance.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just be all over the place. You got to get in the priesthoods.
That's right.
You got to get in the, you know what I'm saying? All that. So people start like the start of Exodus 20. But if you really gonna start and when you really trying to learn the priesthood, then I will start in Matthew 5. You see what I'm saying? Then work my way back. Because that's basically Melchizedek, Christ. He giving you the full extent, the full understanding of what you read in Exodus 20. Right? So Exodus 20 is a good starting place. But if you know what I'm saying, want to learn it how it's supposed to be learned.
You want to come out the gate right.
Right. Exactly. Because a lot of us, man, look, when I first got into the walk, you asked me which priesthood came first, I'd have told you Aaron.
Yeah.
I'd have told you Aaron, straight up and down. But hey, you get a little knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You grow. Hey, you know better, so you do better. And you think better, right?
That's right.
All right. So let's go to the next spot. Let's go to the next spot, and that is Testament of Levi. Testament of Levi. But don't forget about that promise we just read in Genesis 17 and verse 19. He said with Isaac, he will establish his covenant with him for an everlasting covenant. Now, Isaac could live forever. He didn't live forever.
Mm-hmm.
So how could he establish something that's everlasting with someone that's mortal? Well, which one of Isaac's seeds was everlasting?
That's right, brother.
That's a promise that came before the law.
That's it, bro.
The animal sacrifice, the Levitical priesthood, when I say law, let me be specific. Right? That's a promise, right? That came before the law. Remember that, because we coming back to this in part 3. Now let's get into Aaron. Let's get into the Levitical priesthood. Testament of Levi, what I say, chapter 16?
16.
Chapter 16.
So, chapter 16. So, family, that's going to be in the Old Testament Super Pilgrim Volume 1. If you're trying to follow along in your books, that's Old Testament Super Pilgrim Volume 1. Testament of Levi, chapter 16. That's on page 794.
Hallelujah.
That's on page 794.
So that wrapped up that last scripture that we just went to in what was the Genesis 17. That wrapped up Melchizedek before it came into his fullness. And if everybody was, pretty much on point with all that and understood, we read in the first part and in this part, put some 7s in the room so we can move on. Put some 7s up in the room. Let me know y'all still up. But for now, meantime, we in Testament of Levi, chapter 16. We're going to read chapter 16, 17, and 18.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Chapter 16, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now I've come to know that for 70 weeks you shall wander astray and profane the priesthood and defile the sacrificial altars. And ye shall set aside the law and nullify the words of the prophets by your wicked perversity. You persecute just men and you hate the pious.
All right, so right at the gate, this is the Testament of Levi, so we know who he's talking to. All right, he letting them know at the gate. He said, hey, after a certain amount of time go by, y'all gonna profane this priesthood. All right, go ahead.
Sound like that Malachi, don't it?
Yup.
You persecute just men and you hate the pious. The word of the faithful you regard with revulsion. A man who by power of the Most High renews the law, you name deceiver. And finally,
you see that? That's a prophecy. That's a prophecy. What group of individuals? A man who by power of the Most High renewed the law. See, that's a key right there. The law ain't go nowhere. He renewed it. So that's why I say, if you gonna start in Matthew 5 versus Exodus 20. Because that's the one who renewed it. He put the clearest understanding of the law on the table.
Sure did.
All right. What group of people named him a deceiver?
You already know who it is. Matthew, that's that Matthew.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And finally, you shall plot to kill him, not discerning his imminence by your wickedness. You take innocent blood on your head.
Talking about the Pharisees.
That's right,
a future
brother.
prophecy about Levi's descendants. All right, go ahead.
I tell you, on account of him, your holy places shall be razed to the ground, and you shall have no place that is clean, but you will be a curse and a dispersion among the nations until he will again have you regard for you.
All right, go ahead.
And take you back in compassion.
17, chapter 17.
Because you have heard about the 70 weeks. Listen also concerning the priesthood. In each jubilee, there shall be a priesthood. In the first jubilee, the first person to be anointed to the priesthood will be great.
Right.
And he shall speak unto Yah as Father. And his priesthood shall be fully satisfactory to Yahweh. In the days of his joy, he shall rise up for salvation of the world. In the second jubilee, the anointed one shall be conceived in sorrow, and the beloved one, and his priesthood shall be prized, and shall be glorified by all. The third priest shall be overtaken by grief. The fourth priesthood shall be with suffering, because injustice shall be imposed upon him in a high degree.
Right.
And all Israel shall hate each one his neighbor. The fifth shall be overcome by darkness.
All right, so we see this priesthood, right? He talking about the anointed one. In this verse, the anointed one is who the high priest will be after this order.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we see it's steady regressing. It's not getting better.
Ain't gonna get no better.
It's steady regressing, right? We see that. Go ahead.
Likewise, the sixth and the seventh. In the seventh, there shall be a pollution such as I am unable to declare in the presence of human beings, because only the ones who do these things understand such matters. Therefore, they shall be in captivity and will be preyed upon. Both their land and their possessions shall be stolen.
Uh-huh.
And in the fifth week, they shall return to the land of their desolation and restore anew the house of Yahweh. In the seventh week, there will come priests, idolaters, adulterers, money lovers, arrogant, lawless, voluptuaries, pederasts, those who practice bestiality.
Ooh-wee.
Rough jokers, ain't
That's some rough joker right there. That 7 week sound like the 7 week of this prophecy sound like the time of the Pharisees.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh-wee.
That was right after Malachi, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Chapter 18. So this priesthood ain't gonna get no better.
Yeah, and y'all trusting it.
Exactly.
You got a lot of rules out there trusting in it.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. And a lot of people don't even realize that they, you know, they erring. They still in erring when they tell you, oh, you can't do this in the congregation until you circumcised. Or you can't come here until you circumcised. You can't partake in the feast days until you circumcised. What? They skip like Genesis 15 don't exist. That's what it seemed like. I guess they done told Genesis 15 out they Bible.
I guess, bro.
And they go from 14 to 16 to 17.
And we ain't even gonna talk about Enoch.
No.
Now you gotta ask a question. Enoch was before the circumcision.
Yep.
And Most High took him.
Yep.
So we got a problem.
We got a problem.
We got a problem.
Yeah.
With a lot of doctrine going on, don't we?
That's a fact. And then look, if you limit circumcision to just physical, then a woman could never be circumcised.
Right.
So women could never be spiritually circumcised if only the physical part of it matters.
Boy, you dropping. Woo.
All praise to the Most High. Chapter 18, Testament of Levi, chapter 18. So that there has to be a spiritual aspect of it, like when you look at it from that perspective. Like if you just talking about physical, then where do they lead the Hebrews?
Hey, come on now, and going back to that, they said Methuselah was righteous too. Now they said all them boys, he notched all of them. Now there wasn't no circumcision around then. Now, no, they gonna be sitting at the table, right?
Yep, yes, sir.
What? Testament of Levi, chapter 18.
Yeah.
When vengeance will have come upon them from Yahweh, the priesthood will lapse.
The priesthood will do what?
Lapse.
Okay, so we know at the gate, which we already knew it ended, but it's letting you know. Levi let you know it's gonna lapse. Go ahead.
And then Yahweh will raise up a new priest, to whom all the words of Yahweh will be revealed.
That's part 3 stuff right
there.
Yes,
sir. That's that Isaiah.
Yes, sir.
He shall effect the judgment of truth over the earth for many days, and his star shall rise in heaven like a king, kindling the light of knowledge as the day is illuminated by the sun. And he shall be extolled by the whole inhabited world. This one will shine forth like the sun in the earth. He shall take away all darkness from under the heaven. There shall be peace in all the earth. Excuse me. The heavens shall greatly rejoice in his days, and the earth shall be glad. The clouds will be filled with joy. The knowledge of Yahweh will be poured out on the earth like the waters of the sea. What?
Hallelujah.
And the angels of glory of Yahweh's presence will be made glad in him. The heavens will be open. From the temple of glory, sanctification will come upon him.
Oh, did we read in some of our lessons how the heavens was always open to Adam under their order?
So did.
Man, go ahead.
With a fatherly voice, as from Abraham to Isaac, the glory of the Most High shall burst forth upon him. The spirit of understanding and sanctification shall rest upon him. Isaiah and Matthew. He shall give the majesty of Yahweh to those who are his sons in truth forever. And there shall be no successor for him from generation to generation forever.
Ooh-wee.
And in his priesthood, the nations shall be multiplied in knowledge on the earth. And they shall be illuminated by the grace of Yahweh.
That's Isaiah 2:2.
Yes, sir.
All nations shall flow to the mountain.
Yes, sir.
All nations shall flow to it. Go ahead.
But Israel shall be diminished by her ignorance and darkened by her grief. In his priesthood, sin shall cease, and lawless men shall rest from their evil deeds.
So look, did sin cease under the order of Aaron?
Nope, because they were still cutting up cows. Still cutting up cows and sheep and pigeons and pouring drink offerings out.
Man, go ahead.
And righteous men shall find rest in him. He shall open the gates of paradise. Read that again. And he shall open the gates of paradise. They couldn't even close the sheets on the tabernacle. He shall remove the sword as that has threatened since Adam. You're going to kill death.
Man.
That's at Corinthians 8:15.
Yes, sir.
And he will grant the saints of the east of the tree of life. The spirit of holiness shall be upon him. Be upon them, excuse me. And Belial shall be bound by him. And he shall grant his children the authority to trample on wicked spirits. And Yahweh will rejoice in his children, and will be well pleased by his beloved ones forever. Abraham, Ishak, and Yaakov will rejoice, and I shall be glad, and all the saints shall be clothed in righteousness. Hallelujah.
Now, when was any of those promises under the order of Levi?
No.
Man, that ain't even touching it, right? Let's go to the next spot. Let's get into it. Let's go to Exodus 24. That's right. Power to tread on evil spirits.
Yes, sir.
Under his order. Hey, he gave his disciples that power.
Man, I was just finna say that, bro.
So look, that let you know under the order of Melchizedek, his priest got power to tread on evil spirits.
That's right.
Man, let's go to Exodus 24. Let's read verses 1 through 12. Then we're gonna skip.
All right.
Let me pull this up for y'all. My bad. Didn't nobody say nothing either in the chat. Didn't nobody say nothing about the scriptures not being pulled up on me. Man, good job, man. I was just letting us go through this lesson with no scripts on the screen. Didn't nobody remind their brother. It's just like a Hebrew to blame everybody else.
I've seen these people.
Blow that up for y'all. All right. Exodus 24. Exodus 24, verse 1. Go ahead.
And he said unto Moshe, come up unto the Lord, thou, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moshe alone shall come near unto your house. But they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moshe came and told the people all the words of Yahweh, and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which Yahweh has said will we do. And Moshe wrote all the words of Yahweh and rose up early in the morning and builded an altar. And builded an altar under the hill. 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yeah.
And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrifices. I'm gonna read that one again. That may have slipped past somebody.
Yeah.
And he said, young men.
Uh-huh.
Young men.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna kill that though. Young men
You know
of the children of Israel.
Yeah.
Which they offered burnt offerings.
That's right.
And the sacrifice peace offerings and of oxen unto your house.
Mm-hmm.
And Moshe took half of the blood and put it in basins. And half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Mm-hmm. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, all that Yahweh has said will we do and be obedient.
Go ahead.
And Moshe took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahweh has made with you concerning all the Davarim. And then went up Moses and Aharon, Nadab and Abihu,
mm-hmm.
and the 70 of the elders of Israel. And they saw the power of the Elohim of Israel. And there was under his feet, as it were, a paved work of a sapphire stone.
All right. So what do we see here? All right. We got the covenant, the marriage ceremony right
mm-hmm.
here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is the go-between for the people of Israel and the Most High at this point?
That's right.
Moses.
Intercessor.
So Moses is the mediator.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got Moses, the mediator of this whole administration, which under his administration is the Levites and their priesthood. Right?
Come on, man.
And Moses was considered the lawgiver, not the law writer. The lawgiver, not the law creator, the lawgiver.
Mm-hmm.
All right? He just gave what was already in motion before his time.
That's it, brother.
Right, so that's why you hear Law of Moses, Law of Moses.
That's right.
Well, they just crediting who the go-between was the time he had his administration. Just like you see in the New Testament, the Law of Christ.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
The Law of Christ. So no need to spill your coffee when you hear us say Law of Moses, Law of Moses. Now you know what we talking about. Just let you know who the intercessor was at the time.
That's right.
We're not saying that that's his law. He wrote it. He created it. No. We got more sense than that. That's what I'm saying. People want you to belong to one extreme or the other.
Right.
You need a healthy balance when reading the scripture.
That's right, brother.
This is not a book where you can just side with extremes. You have to get both sides of the coin and come to a logical and scriptural analysis. All right, go ahead.
NG.
Uh-huh.
And as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel, he laid not his hand. Also they saw Yah, and did eat and drink.
Uh-huh.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, come up to me unto the mount, and be there, and I will give thee tables of stone, and a law, and commandments, which I have written, that thou mayest teach them.
Okay, so now he hadn't even gave everything yet. All the instruction. But we saw young men doing what? Burnt offering.
Come on now.
Peace offering.
Come on now.
Right? We saw Moses build the altar.
Come on now. Levi he ain't even ordained them yet.
He ain't even ordained them yet. Jump down to 15, read 15 through 18.
And Moshe went up into the mount.
Right.
And a cloud covered the mount. Excuse me. And the glory of Yahweh abode upon Mount Sinai. And the cloud covered it 6 days. And the 7th day he called up to Moses out of the midst of the cloud. That's
what I'm saying. And see, people already knew how to sacrifice before Moses even knew it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So they didn't learn about sacrifices and all that with Aaron. That knowledge was already in the earth. So when people like Moses and Aaron saw the layout of the Levitical priesthood, it was elementary to them.
Yep.
They already knew how, you know what I'm saying? They knew the finished product of it all.
Even a young boy knew how to sacrifice.
Yep. Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
And the sight of the glory of Yahweh was like the devouring fire on the top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Israel.
Yeah.
And Moshe went into the midst of the cloud and got him up into the mount. And Moshe was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights.
Chapter 25, 1 through 9.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering. The children of Israel bring me an offering.
Yeah.
Of every man that giveth willingly with his heart, ye shall take my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them: gold and silver and brass, and blue and purple and scarlet, and fine linen and goat's hair, and ram skins dyed red, and badger skins and shittim wood, oil for the light, spices for anointing, and for the sweet incense, onyx stones and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them.
Right, go ahead.
According to all that I show thee after the pattern of the tabernacle.
Oh, so we read about all that in the first part. So, hey, he gave him a model of what was already operating fully in the heavens. All right, go ahead.
In the 9. And the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it.
All right, and if we was to go through chapter 25, you would see the table, the candlestick, then chapter 26, the tabernacle. But we're going to jump to 28. Let's jump to 28. Let's jump to 28. Chapter 28, let's do 1 through 4, then we're going to skip around.
All right. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest office. Even Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's son. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for the glory and for beauty. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him,
right,
that he may minister unto me in the priest office. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a broidered coat, a mitre, and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that they may minister unto me in the priest office.
All right, skip. That was 4. That was the end of 4. Skip down to 15.
All right. And thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work. After the work of the ephod, thou shalt make it of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen shalt thou make it.
All right, skip down to verse 30.
And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before Yahweh, and Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continues.
All right, so in this portion of the class tonight, what we're doing right now is just getting everybody acquainted with the setup of the Levitical priesthood, right? We're not going to go into every detail of it, but we're going to give you a good rundown of what's going on. All right, so, but we see a mirror of everything that was what? Up in the heavens first. The high priest got on special garments, just like the angels had the breastplates of gold. You know what I'm saying? We got the ark, the altar, all that. All that. All right, let's flip over. Now let's skip down to verse 31. Read 31 through 36. Read 31 to 36.
And thou shalt make the robe of the ephod all of blue. And there shall be an hole in the top of it, in the midst thereof. And it shall be a binding of woven work round about the whole of it. And it, as it were, the whole of the habergeon that is to be rent. And beneath upon the hem, thou shalt make pomegranates of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, round about the hem. Thereof the bells of gold between round about, and the golden bell and pomegranate, and the golden bell of the pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about.
Yeah, he needed them bells on there.
Yeah.
So the people know if we don't hear them bells moving, he didn't drop dead. He didn't went behind that veil. He did something he wasn't supposed to do. You don't hear them bells?
It's over with.
It's over with. Go ahead.
And it should be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before your house, and when he cometh out, that he die not.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what them bells was for, to make
That's
sure
it.
that
That's it, brother.
Most High ain't killed him up in there.
That's right. So
Go
them
ahead.
one fringes.
Right.
I'm just throwing, you know.
Yeah.
Them one fringes.
Exactly.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, engrave upon it like the engravings of a signet.
Yeah.
Holiness to your house.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
You Negroes talking about y'all chief priests. Where y'all garments like this at?
Yeah.
I want to see that. Anyway, let's go to Exodus 40. Let's go to Exodus 40.
Getting a lot of bad doctrine tonight, brother.
Man, all praises. All praises. All praises, man. Exodus 40. Let's do verse 15. Let me go there real quick because I want to look at something right here. I want to look at something interesting. Exodus 40. You can go and read verse 15.
Exodus 40 and 15.
Right.
And thou shalt anoint them, as thou didst anoint their father. They may minister unto me in the priest office. For their anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood throughout their generation.
Wait a minute now. Everlasting throughout their generation.
Throughout their generation.
Let's see what everlasting means. We know one of the definitions off the top of our head just mean forever, for eternity, right? Mm-hmm. But that can't be what he's talking about. That from what we know about the scriptures, everlasting here cannot mean forever pertaining to this. So let's see what other words, other definitions we get, right? So the Strong's definition, Strong's number is H5769. Hold on. It's everlasting. Right out the gate, look at the first one. Outline of biblical uses. That's what we're looking for right there. Long duration. Long duration. Everlasting also can mean long duration. Let's read the other ones. Antiquity. Futurity. Forever. Ever. Everlasting. Evermore. Perpetual. Old. Ancient. World. Now, one of these words up here, which is long duration, does not mean perpetual or forever. Long duration can mean 3 hours. Long duration can mean 5 decades, but it has a stopping point, right? Forever don't. Everlasting, evermore, you know what I'm saying? And since we know that the Levitical priesthood was temporary, we know that long duration, it fits more than forever, correct?
Okay.
All right. So now I just wanted to go read that Strong's definition just so y'all wouldn't believe Octi was pulling wool over y'all eyes. If I say go stand in that corner for a long time, it don't tell you how long, but it don't say it's gonna be forever either. All right. So right here, everlasting priesthood, we know that don't mean forever. Let's go to the next spot. We're gonna deal with we're gonna deal more with him telling them their everlasting priesthood more in the third part than this part. We're gonna come back to this. Let's go to Leviticus 21 now.
All right.
Let's go to Leviticus 21. We're walking it down.
All praise.
Slowly but surely, walking it down. Walking it down. Leviticus 21. Pick it up at verse 1. We're gonna read to verse 21.
All right.
Yeah.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, speak unto the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say unto them, there shall none be defiled for the dead among his people.
Right.
But for his kin that is near unto him, that is for his mother, and for his father, and for his son, and for his daughter, and for his brother, and for his sister, a virgin that is nigh unto him. Okay, so high priests, sons of Aaron, these are laws for them, right? Not the Levites that will be helping them, but for Aaron and his sons, those who will be high priests after the order of Aaron. All right, go ahead. For her may he be defiled, but he shall not defile himself, being a chief man among his people, to profane himself, shall not make baldness upon their head, Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. They shall be holy unto their power, and not profane the name of their Elohim.
Right.
For the offering of Yahweh, for the offering of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire, and the bread of their power, they do offer, therefore they shall be holy. And they shall not take a wife that is a whore, or profane, neither shall they make a woman put away from her husband, for he is holy unto his power.
So these high priests, these guys that became high priests, are mirroring Christ. He's our high priest, and he gonna take what? The virgin of Israel for his wife. Put us in captivity for being whores, so we know our king and priest don't want no whore. So also pay attention to the parallels of our high priest as we read this. All right, go ahead.
Thou shalt sanctify him therefore, for he offereth the bread of thy Elohim.
What bread did our high priest offer?
His body.
His body. The Levitical high priest, they offered the showbread. All right, go ahead.
He shall be holy unto thee, for I, Yahweh, which sanctify you, am holy. And the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaneth her father, she shall be burnt with fire. And he that is a high priest among his brethren, upon whose head the anointing oil was poured, and that is consecrated to put on the garments, shall not uncover his head nor rend his clothes.
That's major right there. Like even his household had to be in order. Right? It wasn't what you would call a mistake today that your child or your daughter would make. You couldn't afford that back in the day. That would cost you a mistake, will cost you your life. You just want to have a little bit of fun being a priest's daughter will cost you your life back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And then think of the effect that would have on the priest. He still got to do the work.
Because he can't even go. Yeah, I mean, he that's the only one he can mourn for.
Hey.
One to one.
So everything had to be in order. John Boy, shalom. It's first time. First time in the chat. Shalom, bro. Go ahead.
Neither shall he go into any dead body, nor defile himself for his father or for his mother.
Yeah.
Neither shall he go out of the sanctuary, nor profane the sanctuary of his Elohim. Excuse me, for the crown of the anointing oil of his power is upon him.
That's right.
I am Yah.
And he shall take a wife in her virginity, a widow or a divorced woman, or a profane or a harlot. These shall he not take, but he shall take a virgin of his own people to wife.
Right.
Neither shall he profane his seed among his people, for I, Yahweh, do sanctify him. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto Aaron, saying, Whosoever he be of thy seed in their generations that hath any blemish, let him not approach to offer the bread of his Elohim.
Right. Go ahead.
For whatsoever man he be that hath a blemish.
Right. That have any type of physical blemish. All right. These are what you would call, we use fleshly, but the another word that the Bible uses for fleshly is carnal. Right. These are all carnal commandments. Commandments dealing with the flesh. For the high priest. Carnal commandments. Remember that phrase when we get to the part.
That's right, brother.
All right, go ahead.
He should not approach a blind man or a lame, or he that has a flat nose, or anything superfluous, or a man that is broken-footed, or broken-handed, or crook-backed, or a dwarf, or that has blemishes in his eye.
Right, so Gary Coleman couldn't be in the temple doing this work. Jay-Z with that nose couldn't be in the temple talking about he Levitical priest.
No,
not with that nose.
Oh, bell pepper.
Ray Charles couldn't be up in there. Stevie Wonder can't be in the temple. Nothing against them brothers. They just, hey, this was the law back then. Crooked back, who else?
Or be scurvy.
had the blemish in his eye, so T-Mac, Tracy McGrady, could not be in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Go ahead.
Or scurvy, or scab, or he that has his stones broken.
Boy, I ain't got no person for that one. Go ahead.
No man that have a blemish of the seed of our own, the priest shall come nigh to offer offerings of the most high power made by fire.
Right.
He hath a blemish, he shall not come nigh to offer the bread of his Elohim.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let's go to Numbers chapter 4. Let's go to Numbers chapter 4. All right. So now we see in we dealing with the means to an end. You know what I'm saying? The Levitical priesthood. All right. Let's go into a little bit more detail how it was broken apart in divisions and whatnot. Let's go to Numbers 4.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Numbers 4. Let's do 1 through 4.
All right. All praise.
All right. Go ahead.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe and Aaron, saying, take some of the sons of Kohath from among the sons of Levi, after their families by the house of their fathers.
Uh-huh.
From you might have me read this. From 30 years old and over, even up to 50 years old.
Yeah.
All that enter into the host to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation.
All right, so in Numbers 4, right here it say from 30 years old upward until 50, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in some other places we can read where Levites was entering into it at 25 as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but this is when it first started.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 30. So these are for Levites.
Right.
These are for Levites.
Please make that clear.
This is not for, telling, because we at the old class, they was telling me I couldn't start a teaching ministry until I was 30.
Right.
But the word of the Most High was in my mouth at 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, this was the scripture that they would use back then. Didn't have a lot of knowledge, so we went for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this don't make no sense. I know we can't prove that we Levites.
Right. And then they didn't even read the other half of the verse.
Nah, they did.
They gonna hold to that standard.
Right. Because a lot, and now if you gonna tell a brother he can't start a ministry until he's 30 and use this, then your old butt need to be sitting down at 50.
Yeah. Because half the joke will tell you that they would damn near 70.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's a contradiction either way it goes.
Right.
They not even rightfully dividing the scriptures.
That's right.
But let's keep reading. Read 1 through 4.
That was it.
All right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. So
I didn't read 4. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
This shall be the service of the sons of Kohath.
Okay.
The tabernacle in the tabernacle of the congregation about the most holy things.
Okay, so the sons of Kohath, they had charge of caring for the objects associated with the tabernacle.
That's right.
Let's skip down to 21 and read 21 through 24.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, take also the sum of the sons of Gershon throughout the house of their fathers by their families.
Mm-hmm.
From 30 years old and upward until 50 years old shalt thou number them.
Mm-hmm.
And all that enter in to perform the service, to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation.
Yeah. This
is the service of the families of Gershonites, to serve and for the birds, and for birds.
Read through 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they shall bear the curtains of the tabernacle, and the tabernacle of the congregation is coverings, and the covering of the badger skins, and that is above upon it, and the hanging for the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the hangings of the court, and the hangings for the door of the gate of the court, mm-hmm. which is by the tabernacle, and by the altar round about, and their cords, and all the instruments of their service, and all that is made for them, so shall they serve. All
right, so the Gershonites?
Gershonites. Mm-hmm.
The Gershonites
mm-hmm.
was in charge of the drapings, the ropes, and all the coverings of the tabernacle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's skip down to 29 through 33.
As for the sons of Merari, thou shalt number them after their families by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, shalt thou number them, every one that entered into the service to do the work of the tabernacle in the congregation. And in this charge of their burden, according to all their service in the tabernacle of the congregation, the boards of the tabernacle, and the bars thereof, and the pillars thereof, and the sockets thereof, the pillars of the courts round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords, with all their instruments, and with all their service, and by name ye shall reckon the instruments of the charge of their burden. This is the service of the families of the sons of Merari, according to all their service in the tabernacle of the congregation, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest.
Okay, so the sons of Merari, they was responsible for the transportation of the tabernacle, the frames, the pegs, everything that basically created the structure of the tent. They was responsible for. Let's go to the next spot, number 7.
Right.
Number 7, 4 through 9. Number 7, 4 through 9. The sons of Kohath, the objects within the tabernacle, the sons of who's next? Gershon. The sons of Gershon, the curtains, everything that covered the drapings, everything that covered the temple, and the sons of Merari, the transportation and the pegs, and pretty much you could say the whole structure of it.
That's right, brother.
They was responsible for. All right, number 7, let's read 4 through 9.
And you know how it was bigger than Moshe saying, take it of them, that they may be to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt give unto the Levites to every man according to his service. And Moshe took of the wagons of the oxen and gave them unto the Levites. 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon according to their service. 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave unto the sons of Merari according unto their service, under the hand of Ithamar the son of Aaron the priest. And unto the sons of Kohath he gave none, because the service of the sanctuary belonging unto them was that they should bear upon their shoulder.
All right, so we just looking and seeing, you know, the process of it all, what we just read. He giving them ways to carry this stuff. But the sons of Kohath, they got to carry everything on their shoulders. So you couldn't be playing and clumsy and joking all the time. As a son of, who was that? Who we say, Kohath?
Kohath.
You couldn't be a son of Kohath and be a jokester.
Because it can't touch the ground.
Nah, you better not let it touch the ground. and don't let him find out it didn't touch the ground because you were back there playing.
That's right.
Ooh. Let's go to Leviticus 16.
All right.
Let's go to Leviticus 16 next. Y'all following it pretty well so far. Put some 7s in the room. We're going through Levi tonight.
Leviticus what?
16.
Okay.
Leviticus 16. Y'all willing next Friday we make it all make sense to y'all. Make this all make sense.
All praise.
Leviticus 16. Let's do pick it up at verse 1.
All right.
Yeah.
And Yahweh was big unto Moshe after the death of the 2 sons of Aaron.
Yeah.
When they offered before Yahweh and died. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, speaking to Aaron thy brother, that he come not at all times in the holy place, within the veil before the mercy seat, which is upon the ark, that he die not. For I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat. Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering.
Now this is about the Day of Atonement. This was major priest work, high priest work right here. This was the highest order of the high priest under that order back in that time, right here, this day. All right, go ahead.
And he shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have the linen breeches upon his flesh, and he shall be girded with the linen girdle, and with the linen meat shall he be attired. These are the holy garments. Therefore, he shall wash his flesh in water, and so put them on.
Right.
And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kids of a goat for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. And Aaron shall offer his bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself.
So the high priest had to order for his own. He had to sacrifice an animal for his own sins before he even go. And one of the most important days for the whole nation is sacrifice for them.
That's right, brother.
That's imperfection, y'all.
Come on now.
That's imperfection in the priesthood. So even with the imperfection, the Day of Atonement had to be completed.
That's right, brother.
So the reconciliation was even temporary.
There you go.
That's another thing you got under this order: temporary reconciliation.
Year to year.
Year to year. And it might not even be the same high priest the next year.
Yeah. Somebody might get their head hit. Or somebody might be dead. Or somebody might die. You know,
they might die. Yep. Right. So, hey, go ahead.
And make an atonement for himself and for his house. And he should take of the 2 goats and present them before your house at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats. 1 lot for your house, and the other lot for the scapegoat.
Man, what's a scapegoat? Somebody that take the blame for something they didn't do.
That's right.
What descendant of Abraham ended up being the scapegoat for Israel?
It wasn't Aaron.
1 Aaron, 1 David, 1 Solomon, 1 Josiah, 1 Hezekiah.
Nope. Show 1 Zedekiah.
1 Zedekiah. Go ahead.
And Aaron shall bring the goat upon which Yahweh's lot fell, and offer him for a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell to be the scapegoat shall be presented alive before Yahweh, to make an atonement with him, and to let him go for a scapegoat into the wilderness. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and he shall make an atonement for himself and for his house.
That's right.
And he shall kill the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself. And he shall take a censer full of burning coals of the fire off the altar before your house, and his hands full of sweet incense, beaten small, and bring it within the veil. And he shall put the incense upon the fire before your house, that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat that is upon the testimony that he died not. And he shall take of the blood of the bullock and sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat eastward before the mercy seat. Shall he sprinkle the blood with his finger 7 times.
7 times. Go ahead.
Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with the blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat before the mercy, upon the mercy seat and before the mercy seat.
Read 16, then we're going to skip.
All right. And he shall make an atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgression and in all their sin. And so shall he do for the tabernacle of the congregation that remaineth among them in the midst of their uncleanness.
Well, you know you a sinful nation where you need a yearly cleanse.
Yeah.
From sin. We can't sit up here and talk about nobody till we talk about ourselves first.
That's right.
Need a yearly cleanse.
Yeah.
From
deep
wickedness.
clean. A deep clean.
Can't eat nothing, can't drink nothing. You need to cleanse because you've been so sinful.
Wicked.
Man, that's crazy when you think about it.
Wicked. He ain't got to clean the place around.
Go ahead. That's
skip down.
Skip down to skip down to 20.
All right.
Yeah.
And when he has made an end of reconciling the holy place and the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. Excuse me.
All right. So he said after he had made an end of reconciling, they go back to what we were saying. Well, he gonna have to come back and do it again next year. So how good exactly is the reconciliation under this order? If the priest this year when the day comes, he gonna make an end to reconcile and then got to come back next year and do the same thing.
Right.
Are we really reconciled?
Temporary.
Go ahead.
21.
Yeah.
And Aaron shall lay both hands upon the head of the live goat
Mm.
and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel and all their transgression and all their sin, putting upon the head of the goat, and shall send him away by the hand of a fit man,
Yeah.
into the wilderness. And the goat shall bear upon him all their iniquities unto a land not inhabited.
Land not inhabited. Go ahead.
And he shall let go the goat in the wilderness.
The high priest, after the order of Aaron, had to do this every year.
Yeah.
Had to do this every year. But before this, something else happened, right? Let's go to Genesis 22. Let's go to Genesis 22. We know the story. We ain't gonna read the whole story. I just really want one or two verses here. Genesis 22. Since we already familiar with this story. Let's read 22, 6 through 8.
All right.
6 through 8. Go ahead.
And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering.
This is when Abraham was about to go up and kill his only son, Isaac. Sacrifice his only son, Isaac, as a burnt offering. Go ahead.
And laid it upon Isaac, his son.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, he took the fire in his hand and a knife. And they went both of them together. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, Yahweh will provide himself a lamb for the burnt offering.
He said, Yahweh will provide himself a lamb for the burnt offering.
Come on now.
This was before Levi. This was before Abraham could even get to see Leviticus 16. He said God himself will provide a lamb. So he knew that a sacrifice was coming.
Yes, sir.
Go and finish that out.
So they went both of them together.
I'm finna read Revelation 13 and 8.
Read it, brother.
I'm finna read Revelation 13 and 8. It says, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names were not written in the book of the life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the earth.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So the sacrifice of Christ was already called and in the heavens and done pretty much without it being physically done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From the foundation of the earth, since the foundation of the earth was laid.
The word is going out of his mouth in truth.
In Psalms it tell you, I believe it is in Psalms, we say your word is settled in heaven.
Yes, sir.
Look, the whole matter is already settled. We just gotta live. We just living it out.
Come on now.
It ain't nothing no man can do to influence what's already finished.
Got to go.
Right? So even before you had a Day of Atonement, Leviticus 16, the lamb was slain from the foundation of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham knew that God himself would provide a lamb. Hey, let's go to the next spot. Let's go to the next spot.
Praise.
Genesis 49. Read a little bit
sir.
more about Levi.
Yes,
we ain't
sir.
done yet. Genesis 49, one verse 7. Verse 7.
All right.
And this is Jacob giving out the blessing before he passed on. Go ahead.
Cursed be their anger,
Mm-hmm.
for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel.
Yeah. No. Skip up to verse 5. My bad.
All
Read
right.
verse 5 through 7.
Simeon and Levi are brethren,
Uh-huh.
instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into their seat, unto their assembly, mine honor.
Mm-hmm.
Be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man.
Read the Testament
What?
of Levi. Testament
What?
of Levi, chapter 6.
Man, Simeon, he was after Joseph, wasn't
Yeah.
Mm.
Them jokers that raped their sister.
he? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking at this. He said both of them slew a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Simeon was the one who hated Joseph the most.
Yep. He
Levi
did.
killed the people. He said, "You done violence against the law.
Yep.
There go another curse right there, man.
Yep.
Both of them jokers right there again, right there in the mix of the thing. What? The word is going out his mouth in truth, man.
Yep.
Woo! Oh, my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly mine honor. Be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
He said, I'm going to divide Levi and Jacob,
Come on,
and I'm
now.
going to scatter Levi and Israel.
Come on now.
Right?
Come on now.
So it was a prophecy about how Levi will be operating amongst Israel. They wouldn't have no inheritance.
Right. And not only that, when the kingdom split, Levi was in Israel and Judah, and then some of the Simeonites came back to the southern kingdom. There was another. There was another.
Because I believe you can read about somebody from the tribe. Was it Simeon in the New Testament?
Yes, sir. The Simeonites. There was another. All over it, boy. Most word is going out his mouth in truth.
Yes, sir. It's already settled in heaven.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Numbers 18.
Yes, sir. All praise.
Numbers 18. So he said, I'm going to scatter Levi and Simeon, but we focusing on Levi tonight in Israel.
That's right.
Right? What I say? Numbers 18, 20. Pick it up at verse 20.
All right.
Yeah.
And Yahweh spake unto Aaron, thou shalt have no inheritance in their land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part, and thine inheritance among the children of Israel.
So this is one of the fulfillments of that prophecy we just read. Genesis 49 and verse 7. All right, go ahead.
And behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth of Israel for an inheritance, for their service which they served, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
So you had commanded tithes, commanded, right?
That's right.
Tithes under the order of Aaron. Right, go ahead.
Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die.
So Abraham wasn't commanded to bring anything in Genesis 14.
So what? Free will.
That was on his own free will. All right, go ahead.
But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance.
Yeah, I just want to say this, throw this out there to finish that last point. So that's something else y'all can, you know what I'm saying? We learned some on our way to learning something. Levi commanded tithing. Melchizedek free will offering. So if somebody is telling you under the order we under now, Melchizedek telling you commanded to pay tithes to their assembly or congregation, they lying. They swindling. They selling snake oil. Levi commanded tithing. Melchizedek free will offering. If they ask you to pay tithes, command you to pay tithes, just ask them, you must don't got an inheritance.
Right.
Because that got to be the only reason you trying to command me to pay you tithes to your assembly. But if that Negro got a house, that Negro got a car,
he got a plot of land, though.
He got a plot of land he's sitting on, his house sitting on. Don't get that Negro no tithes.
Right.
Free will offer, right? Go ahead.
But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as a heave offering unto Yahweh, I have given to the Levites to inherit. Therefore I have said unto them, among the children of Israel, they have no inheritance. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when you take of the children of Israel the tithes, which I have given you for them for an inheritance, then ye shall offer up a heave offering of it for Yahweh, even a 10th part of the tithe.
So do they do a heave offering when they receive your tithe?
Them jokers ain't tithing on the tithe.
They can't even tell you what a heave offering is.
Yeah.
That's another question you ask. Well, since y'all commanding tithes,
where your heave offering?
Where your heave perform the heave offering after you finish collecting, sir. We need to see that. Go ahead.
And this is your heave offering shall be reckoned unto you, as though it were the corn of the threshing floor,
Mm-hmm.
and as of the fullness of the wine press. Thus ye also shall offer an heave offering unto Yahweh of all your tithe, which ye receive of the children of Israel, and ye shall give thereof the Yahweh's heave offering and Aaron the priest. Out of all your gifts, ye shall offer every heave offering of Yahweh, of all the best thereof, even the hallowed part thereof, out of it.
Mm.
Therefore thou shalt say unto them,
what's the hallowed part of
the best,
yeah,
the holiest part.
yeah, man. So the best part of all the collection.
Yeah,
we need that. Who you giving that up to? You know what I'm saying? Stop playing
I
with
bet
the
they
people,
won't burn
man.
that money up.
Yeah, stop
Put
playing
that money
with
on
the
all
people.
and burn
it. Exactly.
Put the biggest part of that money on there and burn it. Yeah, I bet you won't do that.
Yeah, stop playing with Israel.
Somebody might get shot up in there. They did that.
For real.
Take that big old part of that money.
Hey, somebody might get shot. They find out they weren't supposed to be commanding tithes. We're going to get some people in trouble, man.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Therefore thou shalt say unto them, when ye have heaved the best thereof from it, then it shall be counted unto the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor, and as the increase of the wine press. And ye shall eat it in every place, ye and your household, for it is your reward for your service in the tabernacle of the congregation.
Yeah.
And ye shall bear no sin by reason of it, when ye have heaved from it the best of it. Neither shall ye pollute the holy things of the children of Israel, lest you die.
What verse you at?
That was it, 32.
Oh, man, you supposed to just read 26.
Oh, my bad.
You good.
I was all into that one.
Let's go to Deuteronomy 17.
All right.
Look at a few more roles of the Levites, other than, sacrifices. Look at a few more roles that they had within Israel. Still a little bouncing.
Well, they rolling in there, boy.
Man. Deuteronomy 17, verse 8. Pick it up and read verse 8 through 13 for me.
All right.
Yeah.
If there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke,
man,
being matters of controversy within thy gates, then thou shalt arise and get thee up unto the place which Yahweh thy power shall choose. And thou shalt come unto the priests, the Levites.
All right, so the Levites were also judges. All right, go ahead.
And to the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show thee the sentence of judgment. And thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place which Yahweh shall choose shall show thee. And thou shalt observe to do according to all they inform thee, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach thee, and according to the judgment which they shall tell thee, which thou shalt do. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence. I'm going to read that again. It's real slow.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee, to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that would do presumptuously, meaning the man that will go to the right or to the left, and will not hearken to the priest that standeth to minister there before the Yahweh thy power, or unto the judge, even that man shall die.
Because see, you got to think these brothers got the communication device on their chest.
Plus, they in the temple with the Most High.
They in the temple, so you gonna look at their judgment and say, man, y'all niggas don't know what y'all talking about.
I ain't going with that.
Who got the Urim and Thummim on his chest? You gonna tell him he don't know what he talking about? Man. Okay.
I knew, dude. You know how they do it.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt put away the evil from Israel, and all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuous.
Yeah. All right, that was it on that?
That was it on that.
All right,
you said down to 13, right?
Yeah, down to 13. So the Levites were also judges. Let's go to the next spot. Let's go to Deuteronomy 33, verse 10. Deuteronomy 33 and verse 10. I've been horrible at keeping these scriptures up here. I might as well not even put them over. We almost done. Now.
So let me ask you a question, brother.
What's up?
So when the judgment come down,
Mm-hmm.
and they bring it to the judge,
Mm-hmm.
and the judges hear all that need to be seen, and then the judgment, according to the scriptures, is handed down. What's going to happen to the people after they go presumptuous and don't do it?
You're going to die. You're going to die.
Even in this day.
And then let the process of it all be example to the bishops, the deacons.
That's
the
what I'm trying to tell you now.
overseers.
That's why I brought it up.
Heard all sides.
There you go.
Inquire of the Most High.
Go inquire the Most High. Go through the scriptures.
Yep.
Okay, then hey, see what the Most High got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the judgment cast down,
Yeah.
and you go against that which has been cast down,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
I just want to get this straight.
That's a personal problem at that point.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with nobody that was involved in the situation.
Nope. Don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. You got to deal with the judgment. When you're dealing with law, take your feelings out of it. Take your feelings out of it. Because if we were still doing this whole law, man, it'll be a lot of hurt feelings up in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
What about the law that say that your brother had to take over after you died? Take your feelings out of it. You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to deal with
We can get into law and feelings. You
Right.
got a whole bunch of things with that law. Can't no feelings be involved when it go down.
It's sad. Here go another scenario. What if you and your brother didn't get along that well?
Thank
But you know on your deathbed, this your brother.
Yeah.
He got to take your wife and lay with
The
your
only
wife.
other Israelite in your family.
The only other Israelite, you got to lay with your wife after you die. And you lay with your deathbed,
Doing everything you can to not keep the law.
right.
Take your feelings out of it. You see what I'm saying?
And brother, if you was that brother that had to come and lay with your brother's wife, you didn't like him, and you gonna do like dude did and spill his seed on the ground to keep your brother, and your brother ain't gonna die out of this race.
Yeah. Or for you brothers that do the two wives thing, it's a law in there that say if you have, I believe you have one that what is it?
Hated.
Yeah, that's hated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to make her son, they child,
Over the other
the
one.
earth.
That's right.
Gotta take your feelings out of it.
Yeah.
Y'all want to do the law? Okay, yeah, the law say we can do two wives.
Well, brother, give me an example.
But you usually, how them situations go, you know one is hated and one is
Just
like
like
more
me.
than the other.
That's why I bring up. Just like me. Now the king and the priest came out of Leah.
Mm-hmm.
The firstborn came out of Leah.
It did. So
the one that was hated.
Gotta take your feelings out of that situation.
Yep. He giving you examples all over the book.
You beefing with a brew. Y'all done just had words yesterday.
Stroke for stroke.
You see somebody, you know this brew got a specific type of car. Don't nobody else drive this car but this brew.
Right.
You see the window busted out of it, some young dude driving his car.
Right. Come on now.
Take your feelings out of it. What's more important, keeping the law or your feelings?
They feel. I'm gonna answer that question for
you. Yep. Everybody say the law.
They gonna lie and say the law. They gonna lie and say,
yeah.
But ain't nobody.
Hey, now y'all just had words yesterday. But you know this brew car is stolen.
Right.
Window bust out and everything.
He ain't driving.
The dude's driving, smoking a blunt with a bandana around it, and it's yacht tags on the car.
Right. Come on now.
No, that ain't the brew. What you gonna do? Your feelings more important than keeping the law?
I'm glad the car got stolen.
Something to think about. Something to think about. Let's go to the next spot. Ezra 10.
All right.
Ezra 10. Ezra 10. Something to think about. For everybody, all the brews out there so-called beefing with each other. Man, we beefing. We ain't speaking right now. Okay. Keep on. The Most High got a way of making brews come back together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it's on the terms y'all want to, or if it's on terms y'all would not rather have it to be on them type of terms. But hey, he got a way. He got a way of making brews deal with each other. Let's go to Ezra chapter 10. Let's do 1 through 12.
All right.
1 through 12.
Now when Ezra had prayed and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the house of Yah, there assembled unto him out of Israel a very great congregation of men and women and children, for the people wept sore. Then Shechaniah, the son of Jael, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, we have trespassed against our Elohim, and have taken strange wives of the people of the land. Yet now there is hope in Israel.
Man, you know what? Let's come back to this.
Okay.
I totally skipped 2 spots. My bad. I'm tripping.
All right.
I'm tripping. Let's go to Numbers 25. My bad, y'all. My bad. Numbers 25. We're gonna come back to that.
Okay.
Numbers 25. We ain't gonna do this whole thing. This is, of course, after Eleazar, came and killed that brute that came in the camp with the Moabite woman. Let's
finish.
Yeah. Let's do 25. Pick it up at verse 7.
All right. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rolled up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel in the tent and thrust both them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from among the children of Israel.
Right.
And those that died in the plague were 24,000. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, has turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace. And he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant, an everlasting priesthood.
There it is again. All right. So the same thing he told to Aaron and Moses, he told to this guy right here. But it switched from Aaron's descendants to Zadok down the line, which Phineas, Zadok and Phineas is in the same line. Right? Go ahead.
Because he was zealous for his Elohim and made an atonement for the children of Israel.
All right. That was it on that. I just wanted to read that part. Write down 1 Chronicles 24, 1 through 19. That's the 24 divisions of the elders that David organized. Where did he get that from? We read that in Revelation. In the first part,
That's
right?
Bro.
So that was just another aspect of the
heavenly order.
Of the heavenly order being reflected in the Levitical priesthood. Now let's go to Ezra 10.
Okay.
Now let's go to Ezra 10. Ezra 10, pick it up at verse 1.
All right.
Ezra 10 and verse 1.
Now when Ezra had prayed, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the house of Yahweh, there assembled unto him out of the children of Israel a great congregation of men and women and children, for the people wept sore. And Shechaniah, the son of Jael, the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, we have trespassed against our Elohim, and have taken strange wives of the people of the land. Yet now there is hope in Israel concerning this thing. Now therefore let us make a covenant with our Elohim to put away all the wives and such as are born of them, according to the counsel of my Lord.
That was a hard thing.
Hard, man.
That was a hard thing, man. You know the connection that you have with your family, your wife, and your children.
That's right.
Again, what do you value more?
The law.
The law or your feelings?
They feel it.
The law or your feelings, right? Do you, at this point, do you value the work the Most High called your line, your tribe to do or do you value your feelings of that woman more?
Mm.
But her booty just so big, Ezra, I can't put her away. Look at her.
Yeah. You know what it is.
You all type of stuff was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And of those that tremble at the commandment of our Elohim,
Yeah.
and let it be done according to the law. Arise for this matter belongeth unto thee. We also will be with thee. Be of good courage and do it. And then arose Ezra and made the chief priests, the Levites, and all Israel to swear that they should do according to this word, and they swear.
What verse you at?
I'm at verse 6
5,
now.
verse
That was
6.
the end of 5, start 6.
Skip down to verse 10.
All right. And Ezra the priest stood up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed and have taken strange wives to increase the trespass of Israel. Now therefore make confession unto Yahweh your power of your father, and do his pleasure, and separate yourselves from the people of the land, and from the strange wives. Then all the congregation answered and said with a loud voice, And thou hast said, so must we do.
So some priests had took some strange wives, right, and had to put them away. All right, let's go look at something else. We just looking at the regression of the Levitical priesthood. We could have went through each time period and showed you where they was going on. Let's go to Ezra chapter 2.
All right.
Ezra chapter 2. Let me see. These brothers was put from the priesthood. Skip down to verse 60. Skip down to verse 61. Right. So these is a list of names of the people who returned from the captivity, right?
You said 61?
Yeah, Ezra chapter 2, verse 61. Watch this.
And the children of the priests of the children of Habiah, the children of Koz, the children of Barzillai, which took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai, the Gileadites, and was called after their name. These sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy, but they were not found. Therefore, they were not found. Therefore, were they as polluted, put from the priesthood.
Wow! So it was some brothers that came back from the captivity that couldn't prove their genealogy. It's the same, like, see that how is you Negroes chief priests and going and you above this process?
Right.
We need to see genealogy before we can acknowledge you as such.
You want to find somebody that is so he can verify that you are.
Right.
You can't do that. You got to first find somebody like Ezra.
Yeah.
That is to verify that you are.
That you are. So hey, if you can't prove genealogy, you know what I'm saying? You need to sit down somewhere with these titles as chief priest and
how you gonna verify that he in this captivity?
Right.
So all y'all need to sit down.
You polluted, bro. If you want to call yourself a chief priest and you can't prove genealogy, a real Levite would tell you no deals today if they were still living. Right? Aaron would tell you no deals.
That's right.
Phineas would tell you no deals. Ezra would tell you no deal.
And Phineas might run you through.
For real. Let's go to Ezekiel 22.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 22. Ezekiel would tell you no deal. Ezekiel was a priest. Ezekiel, the first chapter. Ezekiel chapter 22. We're going to read verse 23 through 28. 23 through 28.
All right. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto her, Thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. Her priests have violated my law.
What the priests do?
They have violated my law.
We read in Deuteronomy 33:10. They supposed to be teaching it.
That's right.
So the priests had fell off, right? They didn't violated the law. How did they violate the law? Go ahead.
And have profaned mine holy things.
How did they do that?
They have put no difference between the holy and profane. Neither have they shown difference between the unclean and the clean.
Right, go ahead.
And have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profane among them.
Go ahead.
Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves ravening the prey.
So the priests, the princes, go ahead.
They shed blood to destroy souls to get dishonest gain. Her prophets have daubed them with untempered mortar, seeing vanity and divining lies unto them, saying, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, when Yahweh has not spoken.
All right, let's go to the next spot. So the priests have profaned the law. They don't put difference between clean and unclean. They done profaned the holy things. The sons of Kohath who handled the holy things went off their job.
Sure did.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody talked about Uzziah for getting killed by the Lord for touching the ark when it fell.
Yeah.
But where was the ones who supposed to be carried?
Right.
Not on their job.
Not on their job.
Let's go to the next part. Let's go to Malachi chapter 2.
Yes, sir.
Old Uzzah might have lived.
Yeah, if they
had the Levites been where they was supposed to be at.
And to show you how cold-blooded that was, David, the man after God's own heart, had to go back and bethink himself. It had to be told to him, look, man, the Levites weren't there. Even the king. See, you can get so used to stuff being out of order till it's regular.
Till it's regular.
The king had to go bethink himself. He was upset. He didn't know why that happened. But it had been going on so long.
He was upset.
And see, them jokers had been out of place so long, the king wasn't even thinking about, man,
they supposed to been there.
But see, stuff can get out of whack so long, man, it becomes regular every day.
That's why we went to that Numbers 7 where he was giving out the loaves, the oxen,
yes, sir,
for them to carry it. And he told the Kohath, y'all carry y'all stuff on y'all shoulder.
Right.
It was a protocol to everything. And we steadily see them over time fall off. They have a good period, then fall off. That's because the priesthood wasn't supposed to be permanent no way.
Right. Digression.
Right? New Testament, they call it a schoolmaster. It's like Melchizedek with training wheels on it. This is how you can kind of look at Levi, the Levitical priesthood. All right, let's go to what I say, Malachi chapter 2. Read chapter 2. We're gonna read all of chapter 2, and then just read chapter 2.
All right.
Yeah.
And now, ye priests, this commandment is for you.
Oh, so he talking directly,
yes, sir,
to the priest. Go ahead.
If you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, saith Yahweh of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart. Behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung upon your face, even the dung of your solemn assembly, your solemn feast, and I will, and one shall take you away with it. Excuse me. And you shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, said Yahweh Zabaoth. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me, and he was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and equity, and did turn many away from iniquity.
That's right.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of Yahweh Sabaoth. But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law.
Yeah.
Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi,
Yeah.
said Yahweh of hosts.
Because the ones, and it's so detrimental for when brothers switch up from the truth, like we seen a lot of brothers doing. It's just like, look at how it affected the Israelites back then when the priests stopped putting the difference between the clean and unclean.
That's right, brother.
Brother, you saw read the law every Shabbat, teach you how to do the law every Shabbat. All of a sudden, one day woke up and now there's no difference between clean and unclean.
Come on now.
These brothers that's teaching the law with all this influence, all of a sudden now there ain't no difference between clean and unclean.
Man, reprobate.
Man, look, that's gonna turn a lot of people away from the truth.
Cause many to stumble at the law, man.
Hey, a priest's lips should always keep knowledge. Go ahead.
Therefore I have also made you contemptible and base before all people, according as ye have not kept my way, but have been partial in the law. Have we not all one Father?
Hey, the ones that were supposed to be judges was being partial. Go ahead.
And not one Yah created us all, created us. Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother by profaning the covenant of our fathers? Judah has dealt treacherously, and abominations is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah has profaned the holiness of Yahweh, which he loved, and has married the daughter of a strange God. Yahweh will cut off the man that doeth this, the master and the scholar out of the tabernacles of Yaakov.
Yeah.
And him that offereth an offering unto Yahweh of hosts, and ye have done again of covering the altar of Yahweh with tears and with weeping and with crying out, in so much that he regarded not the offering anymore, or receiveth it with goodwill at your hand.
He not finna keep letting you do the same sin and then coming back
crying and snotting everywhere.
Hey, after a while, he not gonna regard your prayer.
No.
He not gonna regard your fast. He not gonna regard your crying out.
You gonna be dropping all that snot and boogers for nothing.
Yeah, you gonna be sitting there crying, convincing yourself that he listening to you.
Right.
I had 2 good days in a row. I think the Lord heard my prayer.
Okay. All right.
Did he hear your prayer? Was you convincing yourself that he heard? Because if you know you've been in wickedness, he ain't heard nothing. You can stop telling yourself that.
Especially the ones supposed to keep knowledge in their lips.
And that's just how it works. You not gonna reverse the mode and be the one out here, an Israelite in front of everybody else. Then when the camera's off, you wicked and still think the Most High with you because of what you do in front of everybody else.
It don't work like that.
It don't work like that. Go ahead.
Yet ye say, wherefore? Because Yahweh has been witness between thee and thy wife of thy youth.
Still talking to the priest. Go ahead.
Against whom thou hast dealt treacherously. Yet is she thy companion, the wife of thy covenant. And did he not make one? Yet he had the residue of the spirit. Wherefore one, that he might seek a godly seed. Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. For Yahweh, the power of Israel, said that he hated putting away. For one covers violence with his garment, said Yahweh of hosts. Therefore take heed to your spirit, that ye deal not treacherously. Ye have wearied Yahweh with your word. Yet ye say, wherein have we wearied him? When ye say, everyone that doeth evil is good in the sight of Yahweh, and he delighteth in them. Or where is the Elohim of judgment?
Skip down to chapter 3. Read verses 1 through 4. Read verses 1 through 4.
Yes, sir. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And Yahweh whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, said Yahweh Zabaoth.
This messenger it was talking about was John the Baptist. Go ahead.
But who may abide in the day of his coming?
Yeah.
But who may abide the day of his coming?
Mm-hmm.
And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like a fuller's soap.
Verse 3.
And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver.
Uh-huh.
And he shall purify the sons of Levi.
Oh, he shall. So the sons of Levi shall not be purified until this guy comes. The second time.
Yes, sir.
So Negro calling himself chief high priest.
Yeah.
Look, they gonna be, the ones we called that the Levites. They ain't gonna be cleansed until the Messiah come back.
That's right.
So hey, you can listen to a polluted Negro all you want to. That would be put from the priesthood if some real Levitical priest was still around today. Go ahead.
And purge them as gold and silver.
That's right.
That they may offer unto Yahweh an offering in righteousness.
Ooh. Only then will they offering be offered in righteousness. Right? So the Messiah coming, the priest of all priests, he got to cleanse Levi.
Yep. So if Levi can do it, why they got to be clean?
Exactly. Now, let's go to Psalms 110.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Psalms 110. Because we read in two spots, Exodus 40, Numbers 25, where he say Levi will have an everlasting priesthood.
Yeah,
we read, right? Long duration.
Yeah, long duration.
Long duration, right? So, I mean, okay, you got them two spots. Then you got this. Then you got this right here. Psalms 110.
Let me give me a sweet.
Psalms 110. Go ahead.
Yahweh said unto my power,
Right.
Sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. Yahweh shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness. From the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth.
Yeah.
Yahweh has sworn and will not repent.
Yahweh, who sworn and will not turn back?
Yahweh.
Okay, go
the
ahead.
Creator and possessor of all things has sworn.
Yeah.
And will not repent. Thou art a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek.
So the Yahweh is talking to the Lord sitting at his right hand.
Yes, sir.
He told him, you are a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
Yes,
sir. So now the Levites have fell off.
Yep.
Then you got this priesthood. Now, how was Aaron's priesthood established? He was picked.
He was handpicked.
He was picked. And then they go by line, lineage.
Bloodline, yeah.
This was an oath.
Yeah.
The father went on record and made an oath.
Yes, sir.
And he won't turn back from it. I don't care whoever say they this, whoever say they that. He said, the Lord sitting in my right hand is the priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. Now, which one takes precedence over the other?
The oath. Oh.
Okay. So Melchizedek was set up through an oath by the father. Levi is just lineage.
It's lineage, is it?
Hey, you born of a certain line, you in there. But this was made by an oath that he didn't make with everybody to be high priest after this order. One person. So through all that, with what we just read about the Levitical priesthood, then you come to Psalms and you got this. Let's go to Isaiah 28.
All right.
Let's go to Isaiah 28. And then we'll reconcile everlasting. How can both priesthoods be everlasting? We're going to reconcile all that. We're going to make it all make sense in part 3.
That's right, too. He did make that. He did make it over before the world was.
Hey, we read it in the second Enoch, the priest. We read about the child Melchizedek. Then it told you it's going to be a Melchizedek that's coming. He going to be the priest of all priests.
Yep.
There it was right there.
You can look at also that Psalm 55. He said, man, we walk together in company.
Yep.
That proverb, he said, hey, man, I was there with him in the beginning. Before the world was. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yep. And then if you read, what's that? Isaiah, Isaiah 6. I believe that's Isaiah 6. Isaiah 6. Yeah. You read Isaiah 6, right? And you look at that word train. And his train filled the temple.
Yes, sir.
Look at that word train in the concordance, Aki. I'm pretty sure you already know what it say, but look at the word train in the concordance there in that Isaiah 6. We in Isaiah 28 right now. Though. Isaiah 28, let's do 14 through 18.
All right.
14 through 18. Let me get that real quick. All right, go ahead.
Wherefore, hear the word of Yahweh, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem.
Okay, now remember what we read in Ezekiel, 22? We read the priests, the princes, and the king.
That's it.
The wicked men that rule Israel. This is a message for them. The priests mainly, since that's what we talking about. We talking about priesthood. Go ahead.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
Yeah.
Therefore, thus said Yahweh, Elohim, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation of stone.
Yeah.
A tried stone and a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. Judgment also will lay.
That was it.
Oh, that was it.
All right, so we know who that's talking about. Look at that. Train equals high priest garment, a robe.
That's it, bro.
Wow. So Isaiah saw Christ in Isaiah 6 in his role as priest, in his garment.
He even talked about it in the Ascension of Isaiah.
Let's go to the last spot. Last spot. Finally going over to the New Testament. John chapter 3. John chapter 3. I had John 1 in here just showing you that the divisions or the courses of the priests was still in that. They were still doing that in the time of John's father. When you read John chapter 1, showing how he was a Levite in the temple, right? So of course John was a Levite. All right, so let's do John chapter 3. Let's do 25 through 36. This is how we're gonna finish part 2.
All right. You said 25 through 36, right?
Yep. You can really do 35, but you can just read 36 if you want to. Yeah.
Then there arose a question between some of John's disciples and the Jews about purifying. And they came unto John and said unto him, Rabbi, he that was with thee beyond Jordan, to whom thou bearest witness, behold, the same baptizes, and all men come to him. And John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven.
Yeah.
Ye yourselves bear me witness, that I said I am not the Hamashiach, but I am sent before him. He that has the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom, which standeth and heareth him, rejoices greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. This is my joy, therefore, is fulfilled. He must increase.
He must what?
He must increase.
Yeah.
But I must decrease.
Okay, there it is right there in the nutshell.
There it is. Levi
John,
giving it up, ain't it?
Levi giving it up. John, who was a Levite, right? Who will prepare the way for Christ, who is the high priest after the order of Melchizedek.
Come on, brother.
Who was the Lord sitting at the right hand of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
He said, him and everything attached to him, which includes the Melchizedek priesthood,
That's it.
must increase.
That's right.
And me and everything attached to me and my ministry must decrease.
That's right, brother.
That was part 2 of the class. Hey,
all praise.
Part 3, we're gonna tie everything in.
All praise, man.
We're gonna tie everything in. If y'all got some understanding, well, I hope y'all got some understanding tonight on part 2. You know what I'm saying? Go back and look at both of these parts together. Y'all willing next Friday, we'll be back with part 3.
Man, all praise. Excellent edification and glorification to the Most High. Got just a few quick announcements. First, I would be remiss, as an elder. Really never knew the brother personally. Really never agreed with a lot of the stuff that came out of it. But very well-known Israelite passed away this week, Ariah. Want to send condolences to the family.
Yeah.
One of the leaders of what we know now today as One West. Father, was well known in Israel as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to give a condolences to the family, to one of the, what I call, not one of the founding fathers, but maybe the second and third generation behind that.
Yeah.
Brought a lot of brothers and sisters into the truth, whether it be, like I say, the doctrine issue. Don't want to get into that. You understand what I'm saying? But just want to say condolences to the family of Elder Ariah. With that, we're going to be online tomorrow. Brother Amnon will be dispensating the word of the Most High. I'll be reading for my brother. We'll be online on it tomorrow. Still working on, I know it's late in the hour, but man, you know how it be when springtime hit. We still trying to find places for Purim still, which we ain't got but a couple of days to do that. We may end up having to just do it at home, individually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But even it's just a silver day, but we still want to keep it, and gather together if we possibly can. You know what I'm saying? So that still trying to get some things in. The brothers still working together. Possibly go look at some places tomorrow after the class for Pentecost. But even before that, we got unleavened bread coming up. Passover, unleavened bread. Pesach is coming. So we're getting back into the spring feast days. And everybody need to get their minds right.
And it came back around quick.
Yeah. So Pesach, we go to the Corinthians. Hey man, don't take this thing unworthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So get your minds and your hearts right. Anybody that's planning on coming down to any of the feast days, especially Pentecost, I know we already got some confirmations or people, Most High willing say they're gonna try to be here. So let us know. I know we got some people coming up from different parts of the country that want to come up for Pentecost. So if you're coming, try to let us know early. Try to get some arrangements for you as far as hotels and whatnot. Try to get all that squared away. Try to get some better rates and whatnot if you don't already have an avenue to do so. Want to ask everybody to continue to pray for the ministry. Most High willing, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have another trip down to the land pretty soon. Hopefully we'll have some more news on that. Still, I know Amnon's still working on some stuff on that. And then elders and teachers will have the Hebrew class this Sunday. I think it's at 6 o'clock. Yeah, 6 o'clock. I'm trying to keep Rob. I know you get off, you be running. So I think it's at 6 o'clock be good. I'll check with my brew tomorrow morning. Make sure that's going to be conducive for him getting off their plantation. But we'll be resuming our Hebrew classes this weekend, Most High willing. You got anything else for the people, brother?
Man, no, Most High willing. I'll be chopping it up with a lot of y'all in the chat tomorrow.
Yeah.
And man, I'll see y'all again as a teacher, as a dispensator of the word of the Most High next Friday, Most High willing.
All praise. Praise.
We back at it.
All right, brothers and sisters. All praise, honor, and great glory is unto our power. The power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the Power of Jacob. To our brothers and sisters in the faith, as always, we salute you. We're going to holler at y'all on the other side.
Shalom, family.
Shalom, family.